In a week of great wrestling, AEW wasn't left out in the cold. AEW had a great week full of big surprises. Let's get into it. Exactly how many motherfuckers is MJF expected to fight? Everybody want to fight MJF. Brody King want to fight MJF. Kenny Omega want to fight MJF. Swerve want to fight MJF. Andrade want to fight MJF. Hangman want to fight MJF. Everybody want to fight MJF. And the crazy thing is, we all know how this finna go. MJF still gonna come out on top. He's still gonna come out on top. Now, if he gets Kenny Omega, man, because it's about time. It's about time for Kenny Omega to get that belt back around his waist. That time is coming up. But up until that time, apparently, MJF is going to have to run the gauntlet. He's going to have to run the gauntlet. MJF, I know a lot of people's like, his shtick is stale, but that shit he said about Brody King being a liberal Nazi, that shit was fucking hilarious. That's one of those times where you remember that MJF always got something in the bag. That shit was funny. I think that shit even made Brody King laugh. But yeah, MJF's gonna have to fight all these dudes off. He's gonna do it. He's gonna do it, man. Like, who do we really? Okay, let's go through each challenger one by one and give the chances that they actually are going to be able to beat MJF. Andrade, not gonna happen. 0% chance. Not only is Andrade a heel, he just got back. He's not winning the title. He's not winning the title. Brody King, while I do think Brody King has the capabilities of becoming the AEW champion, it's just not going to be right now. I think Brody King probably needs a little more character development before him winning the title makes sense. He's a threat to the title for the future, but I don't think that future is right now. Maybe he takes it off of somebody else, but I don't think he's taking it off of MJF. Swerve, I don't know. I'm kind of confused about the situation. I don't know if Swerve losing to Andrade means that Swerve no longer gets a shot at MJF or not. I don't know what that means. But if Swerve does get a match with MJF, I think he has a better chance than Andrade and Brody King of winning the title from MJF. But I also don't think they're going to go that route right now. I think they're going to find some alternative route. They're going to find some other shit for Swerve to do, and they're going to let the other two guys that's going after MJF handle it. Hangman Page has the second best odds of beating MJF for that title, but I don't think he's beating MJF either. Like, I think a part of the MJF storyline has to be how he finally was able to get one good over Hangman Page, because Hangman Page thinks MJF is a bitch, and MJF needs to go out and prove that he's not a bitch. And that's a part of their inner workings of their relationship and their storyline, is that Hangman Page thinks MJF is a coward who always looks to get out of his matches and cheats to win and finds shortcuts. And MJF thinks Hangman Page is a hypocrite and he's just a dickhead and that he's inferior to him. So if MJF is going to be further elevated, you have to have MJF conquer and vanquish that foe and actually do it in a way where Hangman Page isn't going to be able to say that MJF is a bitch. There you have it. And by the way, lately MJF has been having more just direct wins, so I do want to throw that out there. And then we get to our last guy, the guy who has the best chance of beating MJF, and that's Kenny Omega. Because Kenny Omega becoming the champion again is fucking inevitable. It's inevitable. It's going to happen whether people like it or not. Kenny Omega is going to win that title again. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Don't know if it's going to be at Revolution, but he's getting that belt back. That's the bottom line. So guess who showed up at AEW this past week? Tommaso Ciampa, Psycho Killer Blackheart, showed up, and he's going to challenge for the TNT title. Not only did he do that, He then went to Collision and won the fucking title. Man, I can't think of somebody more deserving of going to do that than Tommaso Ciampa. I don't know what happened. I'll give you my personal opinion on it. So you could probably tell that I'm the type of person that I don't think Triple H should be blamed for everything. It's a lot of shit that got to do with TKO and other shit like that. I do think Triple H probably has the biggest voice in the room. I just don't think he has the only voice in the room. Like, for example, I'll give you a perfect example. Tommaso Ciampa. Tommaso Ciampa was one of Triple H's favorites in NXT, right? So then you get him, he's one of the favorites in NXT. So then he gets called up to the main roster, and it looks like he's going to get pushed. And then next thing you know, he's just in limbo the whole time, him and Johnny Gargano. But they always kept them around enough for them not to be in catering. You get what I'm saying? Like, I understand people think, oh yeah, they should have called up Ciampa. Ciampa should have had multiple intercontinental US title reigns. Ciampa should have been in the main title picture. I understand all that. I like Ciampa too. But sometimes it's just enough for you to just be on TV every day. It's guys that haven't been on TV for weeks. Look at the Street Profits. The Street Profits has been off of TV for I don't know how long. So yeah, Ciampa not getting the opportunity in WWE doesn't say anything bad about WWE. And just from the business side of it too, for all we know, they could have had tough contract negotiations. They could have said he's a little too old to be put in a higher position. I mean, those are things that could have happened. But fortunately for him, he went over to AEW and he won a TNT title. Now, do I like that he's been targeted by Kyle Fletcher? Kyle Fletcher, say what you want about him. Kyle Fletcher is probably one of the current best wrestlers in the world. And he's in the Don Callis family. So that means Ciampa's not going to get a fair fight. Well, see, I actually think that I had Ciampa pegged for joining the Don Callis family. So that's another thing that we'll just have to see how that goes. But yeah, man. Ciampa went over there. He took care of his thing. He did his damn thing with his longtime friend and longtime rival, Mark Briscoe, and took the belt from him. So we're going to see how it is. Very happy for Ciampa. Glad he was able to go over there and do that. Something else to happen in AEW this week. Andrade beat Swerve Strickland. I had a feeling that it was going to happen the minute they mentioned that Swerve had not lost since he came back. I had a feeling that was going to happen. And I have to be honest, in the spirit of Tommaso Ciampa going to AEW, winning the TNT title, I have to also say that this is probably the biggest win for Andrade in years. I'm talking about first AEW run, WWE run to now. Biggest win he's had in years. Beating someone of Swerve Strickland's caliber. The question is, what are they going to do with it now? He's not going to take that momentum and carry it into him beating MJF. That's not what's going to happen. So it'll be interesting to see how they book him going forward. It's big. It's a big win. He's definitely should be one of the heavy hitters of the Don Callis family. It's good for him that he was able to get such a huge victory. But we'll see how that goes with Andrade. But I honestly don't see nothing too big with that. But we'll see, man. I could be wrong. The last thing I'm going to touch on AEW for this week is the Don Callis family picking a fight with the Death Riders. Now, I understand that the Don Callis family has some aggressive dudes over there, but they don't want that smoke, man. They don't want that smoke. They don't want that smoke with the Death Riders and John Moxley. They don't want that. They don't want it. Because I'm telling you right now, if it comes to a situation, and I think Moxley said this on Collision, if it comes to a situation where they want to talk like street fights, if they want to get really on some gutter shit, Don Callis family not built like that. Maybe Lance Archer is built like that. Josh Alexander, he could get down, but he's a wrestler. Like, if we talking about death match type shit, like using weapons and shit like that, yeah. Don Callis family don't want that smoke. I'm gonna tell you something else. because I see the direction they're going. This thing with Takeshita, Okada, Kyle Fletcher, where I think it's clear and obvious to me that they're going to turn on Takeshita. If they do that and Takeshita ends up joining the Death Riders in any capacity, even if it's like a one-off just for a match, it's really, the Don Callis family is really fucked. Honestly, I think it's time to start planting the seeds for the storyline of where the Don Callis family ends, because it's a running joke at this point. Anytime AEW is about to have somebody come join them, they immediately get put into the, okay, how long before they're in the Don Callis family? Like, that goes to show you that shit has been going on too long, and they got way too many people in that group. But I'm telling you right now, if you want to trigger a beginning of the end situation for the Don Callis family, keep messing with the Death Riders. You're going to fuck around and find out.
Oh, I'm so tired. What am I going to do? Quick shout out to our sponsor, W Energy. If you need focus without the sugar crash, this is that clean energy option. No jitters, no weird aftertaste. I use it when I'm ending or recording late. If you want to try it, use my code MFGDEEZ. That's MFGDEEZ at the checkout. Appreciate W for supporting the show. Now let's get back to this wrestling content.